The B-2 Spirit is a heavy strategic bomber with a unique flying wing design. Its shape and advanced materials make it nearly invisible to radar. Engines are hidden within the wings, reducing its heat signature and making it hard to detect. The B-2 can carry both conventional and nuclear weapons with intercontinental range. It can strike targets anywhere on Earth without frequent refueling. Built by Northrop Grumman, it remains at the forefront of stealth technology. Each B-2 is extremely expensive, limiting their numbers. Missions are highly secret and carefully planned. The B-2 is more than a bomber. It's a symbol of American air power. Its presence sends a strong message to adversaries. Few nations possess such advanced technology. The B-2's use signals serious intent. Its global reach and stealth make it a formidable tool. The aircraft's operations are shrouded in secrecy, amplifying its mystique. As the calendar turned to October 2024, a significant event unfolded in the ongoing tensions in the Middle East. For the first time, the United States deployed its B-2 stealth bombers in Yemen, a move that underscored the gravity of the situation. This deployment marked a notable shift in U.S. strategy. This marked a major escalation in the already volatile region, signaling a heightened level of U.S. involvement. The deployment immediately drew global attention, with news outlets and international bodies closely monitoring the unfolding events. The world was watching. Houthi forces had been persistently targeting ships in the Red Sea, posing a direct threat to international maritime traffic. These attacks were disrupting vital shipping lanes, causing significant delays and economic repercussions for global trade. The situation was becoming untenable. Faced with this escalating threat, the U.S. government decided that direct action was needed to address the situation and restore stability to the region. This decision came after diplomatic efforts to de-escalate the conflict and negotiate a peaceful resolution had unfortunately failed to yield any positive results. Given the specific nature of the targets and the need for a highly precise and discreet operation, the B-2 was ultimately chosen for this critical mission. The B-2 was selected for its unique ability to strike well-defended and even hidden targets with unparalleled precision, minimizing collateral damage and maximizing mission success. Previous airstrikes, primarily conducted using drones, had shown limited effectiveness in neutralizing the Houthi threat. Similarly, conventional fighter jets had struggled to consistently penetrate Houthi defenses and achieve the desired impact. The B-2's advanced stealth technology allowed it to effectively bypass sophisticated air defense systems, ensuring its ability to reach its intended targets undetected. This capability was crucial for hitting critical sites that were essential to the Houthis' operational capabilities. The primary goal of the operation was to significantly degrade Houthi military capabilities, weakening their ability to launch attacks. A secondary but equally important objective was to protect U.S. forces stationed in the region from potential retaliatory actions. The timing of the B-2 deployment was deliberate and carefully considered, taking into account various strategic factors. It followed repeated warnings issued to the Houthis, urging them to cease their attacks on civilian and commercial vessels in the Red Sea. By deploying the B-2, the U.S. aimed to send a clear and unmistakable message of resolve to the Houthis and other actors in the region. The entire operation was meticulously planned to minimize any potential risk to American personnel involved in the mission. The B-2's deployment was not just a military action, it was a calculated strategic move designed to alter the course of the conflict. The hope was that this show of force would shift the conflict's dynamics and create an opportunity for a more lasting and peaceful resolution. It served as a powerful demonstration that the U.S. possesses the capability to reach any target, anywhere in the world, with its advanced military assets. The strikes were carefully designed to achieve maximum impact on the targeted infrastructure and military assets. The world watched closely, anticipating the potential consequences and ripple effects of this significant military action. The deployment served as a stark reminder of the U.S.'s technological superiority and its willingness to utilize its advanced weaponry when deemed necessary. The B-2's use signaled a new and potentially more dangerous phase in the ongoing conflict in Yemen. The message was clear. The United States is prepared to act decisively, employing its most advanced military capabilities to protect its interests and maintain stability in the region. The B-2 strikes were meticulously planned and precisely targeted, focusing on specific Houthi assets. These strikes targeted Houthi underground weapons facilities, aiming to neutralize key components of their military infrastructure. The selection of these targets was based on intelligence assessments, ensuring maximum impact on Houthi capabilities. These facilities were strategically located near Sana'a and Sada, areas known to be strongholds of Houthi influence and control. The geographical placement of these targets underscores the strategic importance of these regions to the Houthi operations. These sites stored missiles of various types, including those capable of reaching maritime targets. They also housed drones, which have been increasingly used in attacks against Red Sea shipping, posing a significant threat to international commerce and maritime security. The presence of these weapons systems at these locations made them high-priority targets for the coalition forces. The primary objective was to cripple Houthi military capabilities, specifically their ability to project power and threaten maritime traffic. A crucial goal was to restore maritime security in the Red Sea, ensuring the safe passage of commercial vessels and protecting vital trade routes. Destroying these caches aimed to reduce attacks on civilian populations and infrastructure. This also aimed to safeguard military vessels operating in the area, which have been targeted by Houthi forces in the past. The U.S. also sought to protect its personnel stationed in the region who face potential threats from Houthi actions. Protecting U.S. interests in the Middle East, including maintaining regional stability and freedom of navigation, was also a key consideration. The strikes were presented as a defensive measure, undertaken in response to escalating Houthi aggression. They were justified as necessary for American security and the security of its allies in the region, emphasizing the need to deter further attacks. Beyond military goals, the operation sent a clear message to Iran, signaling the limits of its support for destabilizing actions in the region. This was a key message to a key Houthi backer, highlighting the consequences of enabling Houthi aggression. The B-2's reach demonstrated U.S. global strike capability, showcasing its ability to project power across vast distances. The Pentagon emphasized the defensive nature of the mission, reiterating that the strikes were intended to de-escalate tensions and prevent further attacks. The operation was also about strategic communication, sending a clear signal to both adversaries and allies about U.S. commitment to regional security. It was about showing adversaries U.S. resolve to protect its interests and deter further aggression. The B-2's deployment was a powerful deterrent, demonstrating the U.S.'s willingness to use its most advanced military assets when necessary. The U.S. wanted to signal it could project power anywhere in the world, reinforcing its role as a global security provider. The strikes were carefully planned for maximum effect, minimizing collateral damage and ensuring the destruction of targeted assets. The message to Iran and other regional powers was clear. U.S. capabilities are unmatched, and any actions that threaten regional stability will be met with a decisive response. The operation was both a tactical and strategic move, designed to achieve immediate military objectives while also advancing broader geopolitical goals. Yemen's civil war, a devastating conflict marked by widespread destruction and immense human suffering, has fueled years of profound instability in the region. The ongoing conflict has created a power vacuum, allowing various factions to vie for control and exacerbating existing tensions. The Houthi movement, a powerful armed group, controls much of the country, including the capital city of Sana'a. Their influence extends across key strategic areas, giving them significant leverage in the ongoing conflict and the ability to project power beyond Yemen's borders. Since late 2023, the Houthis began targeting international shipping vessels traversing the Red Sea, a critical artery for global commerce. They justified these aggressive actions by claiming solidarity and support for Gaza and the Palestinian cause, framing their attacks as a form of pressure against Israel and its allies. The Red Sea, a vital global trade route connecting Asia and Europe, quickly became a dangerous conflict zone, disrupting maritime traffic and raising concerns about the safety of international shipping. These brazen attacks on vessels, often involving missiles and drones, severely disrupted the flow of oil and goods shipments through the Red Sea. This disruption led to a significant increase in global shipping costs, as companies faced higher risks and insurance premiums. Faced with the escalating threat, many shipping companies made the decision to reroute their vessels around Africa, adding thousands of miles to their journeys. This detour resulted in substantial delays in deliveries and significantly higher transportation expenses for businesses worldwide. Insurance premiums for ships transiting the Red Sea soared dramatically, and global supply chains, already strained by various factors, suffered further setbacks. The repercussions of the Red Sea crisis rippled worldwide, impacting economies and consumers across the globe. The disruptions contributed to rising prices for goods and services, threatening overall economic stability in an already uncertain global environment. The Houthis' actions served as a stark reminder of how a regional conflict can rapidly escalate and have far-reaching global consequences, impacting trade, security, and international relations. In response to the escalating crisis, international pressure mounted on the Houthis to cease their attacks and ensure the safe passage of vessels through the vital waterway. Despite the growing international condemnation, the Houthis remained defiant in their stance, refusing to back down. They vowed to continue their attacks on shipping as long as the conflict in Gaza persisted, linking their actions directly to the ongoing Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Furthermore, they issued stern warnings against any form of external intervention aimed at curbing their activities in the Red Sea. The Houthis appeared to be deliberately seeking to leverage the crisis to gain greater influence and recognition on the world stage. The Red Sea crisis rapidly evolved into a major focal point of geopolitical tension, drawing in various international actors and exacerbating existing rivalries. Each successive attack on a vessel in the Red Sea only served to deepen the crisis and further threaten the stability of global trade networks. The situation starkly underscored the inherent vulnerability of international shipping to acts of aggression and the urgent need for enhanced security measures. As the stakes continued to rise, the world's attention became increasingly focused on Yemen, the epicenter of this unfolding crisis. The ramifications of the conflict extended far beyond the immediate region, impacting economies and societies across the globe. The stability and security of the Red Sea, a critical maritime choke point, became a paramount global concern, demanding urgent and coordinated action. The B-2 strikes in October 2024 marked an escalation, not the first response. Earlier in the year, the US and UK conducted airstrikes on Houthi positions. These operations, part of Operation Prosperity Guardian, aimed to degrade Houthi capabilities. Fighter jets and ship-launched missiles targeted missile launchers and radar sites. Despite some success, Houthi attacks on shipping continued. The rebels adapted, using mobile launchers and Yemen's rugged terrain for cover. Frustration grew as the threat to shipping remained high. Military planners sought more impactful options. The B-2's ability to hit hardened, hidden targets made it the next logical step. Its deployment signaled a stronger commitment to ending the threat. The escalation followed a pattern seen in many conflicts. Prior strikes set the stage for this decisive action. After the B-2 strikes, U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin defended the operation as necessary to protect U.S. forces and degrade Houthi capabilities. He emphasized precision targeting to avoid civilian casualties and reassured allies of America's commitment to regional stability. Austin warned that further Houthi aggression would prompt more U.S. action. The message was clear. The U.S. would act decisively if threatened. Houthi officials condemned the strikes, calling them aggression and vowing consequences. They pledged continued support for Gaza and said attacks on shipping would persist. The Houthis framed the U.S. action as interference and vowed resistance. The exchange highlighted deep divisions and ongoing hostility. No common ground was found, and the conflict looked set to continue. Deploying B-2 bombers marked a major U.S. escalation. The B-2 is rarely used in such conflicts, signaling serious intent. Its advanced technology and stealth demonstrate American power and resolve. The operation aimed to deter further Houthi attacks and reassure U.S. allies. The psychological impact on adversaries was significant. The B-2's use projected strength and reliability to partners. It set a precedent for future U.S. responses in the region. Other nations took note of the capabilities on display. The strikes had broad strategic implications beyond Yemen. The B-2 strikes sent a clear message to Iran, the Houthis' main backer. The US demonstrated it could strike anywhere, bypassing sophisticated defenses. This show of force was meant to deter further escalation by Iran or its proxies. The psychological impact on Iranian strategy was a key factor. However, the risk of further inflaming tensions remained. The strikes also reassured US allies of American commitment. Regional actors watched closely, weighing their own responses. The balance of power in the Middle East shifted with each action. The B-2's deployment underscored the seriousness of the situation. The B-2's use over Yemen highlights the crisis's severity. The conflict involves local, regional, and global actors, complicating peace efforts. While the strikes aim to curb Houthi aggression, their long-term impact is uncertain. Yemen's humanitarian crisis remains dire, with millions suffering. Military action risks further escalation and civilian harm. Sustainable peace requires diplomacy and negotiation, not just force. The strikes underscore the region's volatility and the risk of wider conflict. The international community must focus on de-escalation and dialogue. What happens in Yemen affects global trade and security. The B-2 strikes are a stark reminder of modern warfare's reach. Achieving lasting peace demands addressing root causes. Only through sustained commitment can stability return to the region.